The best electric bike for 2020. Nail the commute in style with the best e-bikes. 1. VANMOOF S3. Best electric bike, moves fast yet feels very secure in every sense. Reasons to buy. Great to ride. Remarkable security features. Looks great. Reasons to avoid. Automatic gear shifting seems a bit unnecessary. The S3 is a very sturdily built thing that rides extremely well. You can get up to 20 miles per hour on the flat with minimal effort, and it irons out hills a treat. Hydraulic disc brakes bring it to a dead stop. Aside from crashes, the biggest worry about riding a bike in our crime-ridden cities is the ever-present threat of theft. To fight back against that, VANMOOF S3 includes an integral magnetic lock, very hard to remove, an integral alarm and a GPS tracker that can be used to locate it if anyone is foolhardy enough to steal the bike. Even more remarkable, VANMOOF will then send someone to find your bike and politely ask the nice man to give it back. The 4 auto-shifting gears of the S3 are a big improvement over the S2. That only had 2, and they shifted in a way that was often hugely irritating. The only issue I have with this bike is that nobody needs a 4-gear hub to shift up and down on its own, and it's one more thing to potentially go wrong. Thankfully, VANMOOF bikes are extremely well made, and so I am just going to hope that doesn't become an issue long term. For urban commuting, 21st century style, it's impossible to beat the VANMOOF S3. Unless your commute demands a folding bike. 2. GOCYCLE GX, a simply superb feature set. Reasons to buy. Great to ride. Handy adjustments via app. Folds up quickly and easily. Reasons to avoid. Doesn't fold as small as a Brompton. And it's even heavier. A new fold-up has usurped the electric Brompton. Although we have just taken delivery of the Brompton for a proper long-term test, so maybe this situation will change again. However, for now the GOCYCLE GX is our top recommendation for anyone who wants an e-bike. That's because the GOCYCLE is more fun to ride and feels more sturdy. The flip side of that is that it doesn't fold up anywhere near as neatly as the Brompton, but, crucially, it folds up enough and sufficiently quickly to legally take it on public transport. Although people may tut at you. With 3 gears, variable assistance, you can change when and to what extent it kicks in via GOCYCLE's handy app, which also lets your phone serve as a basic bike computer, and small-ish but chunky, sporty wheels, the GX is just a blast to ride. GOCYCLE's power delivery algorithms and torque sensors have been tweaked by former F1 engineers, so the ride is one of the smoothest around. It's nippy, maneuverable and fun, and it also feels more like a proper bike than the Brompton. Lighting is taken care of via a super bright front LED light bar and rear lamp that draw power from the main battery system, so you don't have to rummage around for AAA batteries or remember to plug them into a USB cable to charge. 3. Brompton Electric, another great folding electric bike. Reasons to buy. Portable, fold-up design. Very well implemented assistance. Separate battery pack for easier carrying. Reasons to avoid. The weight makes portability harder than it should be. The Brompton is fun to ride in urban settings, although admittedly not as much so as the GX. It's powerful enough to breeze up hills with minimal effort, but feels nimble on the flat. As with any Brompton, you probably won't win a half-mile sprint on it, but thanks to the pedal assistance, you most certainly will get off to a flying start. The reason it stands above other electric bikes is that Brompton has worked out how to apply power assistance to your pedaling, so it feels natural. It also doesn't feel so much like it's trying to fight you once you reach the maximum 15.5 miles per hour assisted speed. A neat smartphone app shows current charge levels and lets you tailor assistance settings, while cadence and torque sensors mean power delivery is smooth and only kicks in when truly required. Brompton also plans to offer diagnostics and warnings that a service or battery replacement may be necessary via the app. Brompton offers fewer options than it does with its standard steeds, but while it comes in any color you like, so long as that's black or white, there is also a choice of 2 or 6 gears, that 20-liter bonus luggage option, and you can shell out extra for a fast charging system that delivers an 80% battery top-up in just 90 minutes. The electric Brompton folds up exactly the same as the non-powered Brompton. It's so simple, and unlike certain folding bikes we could mention, what you're left with is a genuinely small thing, rather than something that's about the size of a bike with the front wheel taken off. However, the extra weight of the electric drivetrain means you can't just lug it about with the ease of a standard Brompton. It's not bad at all as you wheel it about on the flat. It has small, suitcase-style additional wheels that come into play once folded up. However, if your commute involves, for instance, having to cross over a bridge to get to a railway platform, you will not enjoy that experience. That aside, the only problems with the electric Brompton are the same as with a standard one. It's pricey, and you do look a bit of a tit riding one. But you'll get over it. 4. Ampler CURT. Light, stealthy and exceptionally easy to maintain. Reasons to buy. Super stylish. One of the lightest e-bikes around. Integrated battery design. Reasons to avoid. Silly name. Levers too stubby. Hand over the Ampler CURT to a friend, and we will bet good money that they have no idea it is electrically assisted. The clever 48V LG lithium-ion battery pack is neatly stashed into the down tube, while a powerful motor is stealthily tucked into the rear hub. Even the charging and power system is tactfully approached for maximum ninja points, with a laptop-style magnetic disc clipping onto a slot at the very bottom of the seat tube. Handlebar switches and displays are tossed into the trash for a clutter-free one-button operation. Simplicity is the overarching theme here, with sharp lines, integrated mudguards, a matte black paint job and neat rear LEDs that are craftily embedded into the seat post. Just a number of clean design highlights. The version we tested even boasted a carbon belt drive, as opposed to the maintenance hell that is an oily chain. Granted, the fact it is called CURT makes us cringe slightly, but it rides just as well as it looks. Yes, users can delve into a bespoke smartphone app and fiddle around with the electric motor settings until the cows come home, but assistance from the motor is so well judged, most will be happy with it straight out of the box. A 10-speed variant also feels unnecessary, as our time with the bike proved that the single-speed ratio and clever torque-sensing electrical assistance is good enough to make mincemeat out of most hills. The more torque you put through the pedals, the more CURT steps in to help. The sweat-free cruising comes courtesy of the bike's staggeringly lightweight construction, the scales only just tipping the 13 kilograms mark. This is partly thanks to a full carbon fiber fork, but also some cutting-edge battery tech and that neat rear hub motor. Suddenly, the thought of lugging an e-bike on and off public transport or dragging it upstairs to a first-floor flat doesn't seem so daunting. Ignore its unfortunate name, and the Ampler CURT is a great tool for dispatching of inner-city journeys without soiling your shirt. The only fault we found was with the Shimano hydraulic disc brakes, which were perfectly powerful, but the levers felt comically short for the widen handlebars. Nitpicking at its finest. 5. GTECH EBIKE CITY. Best cheap EBIK for urban rides. Very easy to use. Reasons to buy. Computer monitored to adjust speed when pedaling. Good value for money. Reasons to avoid. Not much difference between low and high power. Slightly uncomfortable saddle and grips. Does not inspire confidence regarding longevity. This tech city bike is way cheaper and simpler than the bikes above and is ideal for beginners or those on a budget. There are definitely more powerful electric bikes out there than this, and a few cheaper ones, but Tech, best known for its vacuum cleaners and hedge trimmers, has pulled off a surprise winner with this. For just shy of $1,000, you get an e-bike that actually looks like a bike, has a 30-mile maximum range, and is shorn of anything that could be described as complexity. You turn it on by pressing the green button on the battery once for low power and twice for high, although to be honest, there is not a lot of difference between them. After that, you just pedal. There are no gears, no chain to muck up your trousers, and not that much difference in feeling compared to riding a normal bike. The twist is that a computer monitors how hard you're having to work to pedal and applies the electric motor as required. So you mainly feel its helping hand as you pull away from lights, coming out of corners, and of course, going up slopes. As with all these bikes, the assisted speed is capped at 15 miles per hour, but unlike some of them, the GTECH EBIKE CITY or its identical sibling the EBIKE Sport, this just has a standard frame rather than a step-through one, is light and agile enough for you to be able to pedal harder without feeling like the weight is fighting you back down to 15 miles per hour. You can even, at a push, use it without the motor on flatter roads. We wouldn't try to take this up a mountain section of the Tour de France, but for urban hills and more gentle rural inclines, it really does take the work out of it. For the money, and especially considering it comes from a hedge trimmer brand, the EBIKE is a great little set of wheels. There have been sacrifices made in the comfort of the saddle and the grips, and the brakes could have a bit more bite to them, but these seem like acceptable compromises to us. In some ways, its real USP at launch was that it just looks like a bike. Thankfully, other brands are now following tech's lead in this area. 6. RAD Power Bikes Radrhino, a beast of a machine for commuting and commanding the hills. Reasons to buy: plows through terrain, carries up to 125 kilograms, twist throttle, great value. Reasons to avoid: it's heavy, looks a bit chunky. Don't view this monster as merely a set of wheels to get you from A to B, because it is capable of carrying you, your family and the kitchen sink to even the furthest of destinations. The chunky fat bike-esque tires, bulletproof frame and excellent components team up to create a bike that's built to last, but this giant is also gentle. 7 speeds and 5 different power levels means it's easy to cruise along at speeds of around 15 miles per hour. It is a heavy lump and those lugging in and out of parking spaces will likely get a bit bored of the overall heft, but this is a bike designed to conquer all trails. It just so happens to double up as an excellent, load-lugging commuter too. 7. Specialized S-WORKS Turbo Levo SL. Best electric mountain bike, if a little costly. Reasons to buy: looks phenomenal, handles like a proper MTB, delivers massive grins. Reasons to avoid: so expensive. The EMP used to be a dirty word among diehard downhill and trail-hungry mountain bike fans, but technology has moved on at such a rate that they are now pretty much in a league of their own. This top-spec specialized number is essentially the Porsche of the electric mountain bike world, with choice components and the latest battery and motor tech combining to create a mud-plugging weapon that doesn't sap the legs when it comes time to crawl back to the top of the hill. Let's face it, the most fun part of any mountain bike ride is blazing down a winding section, and this EMP allows for more of the fun stuff. According to the guys who built it, the lightweight SL 1.1 motor doubles the rider's effort with as much as 240 watts of silent and powerful assistance, while the motor's responsive torque curve delivers power perfectly in tune with a normal riding cadence and leaves no resistance when you're riding without power assistance. Max speed tops out at a whopping 20 miles per hour, so be careful around the law when rinsing this one around the city streets. Although leave it unlocked, and it won't last longer than 30 seconds anyway. 8. FUROSYSTEMS FURO X. Best lightweight
We've
epic.
all had that childhood dream of cruising effortlessly on the coolest bikes around.
Excellent ride.
Going further than anyone else,
galore.
faster than anyone else.
Reasons to avoid.
Exploring entirely new places.
By their
Hi,
nature, epics are
I'm
a lot
Elliot,
heavier than
and
their
I'm Albert.
motorized Greffer.
We develop
This is
light,
something to consider
strong,
if you have a
sleek,
flight of stairs to climb,
But their powerful
be it at home
motors
or on
get rid
public
of the
transport.
pain so that
Well,
you
here comes a
only
truly
keep the fun.
well-spec'd folding model that
The
weighs up
SX
15
is equipped with a
kgs,
mid-motor,
with
which
exterior
allows you to
mounted
use its
36
9-speed
Tesla
Shimano
spec
gears to their full
500
extent
W
at
back angle
any
hub
power
motor,
level.
disc brakes forward
This
aft,
enhances the
mudguards,
range of the
rear
motor's
rack,
torque.
side stand,
You will
and
feel
red
as
lighting
light as a
system
feather going
integrated.
uphill and reach
Given the
impressive
plethora of
speeds in
extras,
only a
we're
few
frankly
seconds.
gobsmacked its London-based
Meanwhile,
designers
the
managed to
FX
keep the
compact
weight
rear
so
motor
low.
will take
The
you
Furo X
anywhere
is
in a
also
flash,
equipped with an
while its
aerospace
9-speed
grade carbon
Shimano
fiber
gears let you
frame,
ride it like a
20-inch
normal
wheels for
bike.
faster travel, and a
Our
9-speed
onboard
Shimano
computer
gear for a
is
wide
full of
variety
smart
inclines.
functionality.
But it's that
It essentially
500
gives you the
W
choice
powerhouse
between an
motor that
effortless
you've come to love
glide
the most.
and a fitness
As is
ride.
the case with all epics in the UK, the motor's
Comfort
assistance is
and
restricted
control
to
were our
15.5
top
miles
priority
per
in
hour,
order to
but
make
because
sure that the
bike's lighter
X
than
series
most of its
provides you with the
competitors, it
best
doesn't feel
riding
like you're riding
experience.
through treacle
There are
when the
no
motor
secrets here.
disengages or the battery
We
runs
equipped
flat.
our bikes with
The
high-performance
handlebar-mounted
hydraulic
computer
disc
display,
brakes
meanwhile,
and an
provides
ergonomic
5
saddle.
pedal assist power levels,
We
which you
also
can
added
change on
front
the go
suspensions
by
to the
tapping up and
SX
down on the
so that
rubber
riding through
wheels.
rough
In a
terrain
nutshell, the
feels
higher
like
the
flying
power
over
assist,
smooth
the longer
hills.
the motor will run until it cuts out at the prerequisite
The
15.5
FX
miles
can be
per
fully
hour.
folded
It has to be
and
said,
unfolded
the motor
in a few
itself makes
seconds
it pretty sprightly
thanks to its
as soon
easy
as the sensor
3-steps
detects
folding
pressure
system.
on the pedals.
It is
So be
compact
mindful when
and light
starting
enough
off
to
or doing a
literally take
U-turn
it
and perhaps
anywhere
have your
with you.
fingers covering the brakes lest
The
you lose
SX
control.
will take you more than
Given it's
60
fitted with
kilometers
20-inch
away.
wheels, the Furo
Its
X
battery
doesn't
pack
fold into a
perfectly
tighter
locks
package
and
as the
integrates
Brompton,
within the
but
bike's
process is
sleek
really
carbon
simple,
frame.
and when folded, it's
The
easy and
FX
compact
also
enough
carries
to
more
take
than
on a train
50
without
kilometers
causing
of
a fuss.
range
The
in a
triangular
compact,
seat post is
energy-dense
especially
battery
worth a mention,
that
because it
easily
makes it
and
really
discreetly
easy to
fits
raise and
onto the
lower
bike.
saddle without having to straighten it.
A lot
Well,
of
that's
our
the main
design
tech out of the
efforts
way.
went into integrating wires and electric components in the frame while getting rid of the bulky shapes that made e-bikes notoriously awkward. We tested the X series in all environments, all conditions to make sure that you get a bike you trust, a bike that never lets you down.
The X series is now finally ready for production. We need your help to bring these incredible bikes to life and reduce production costs.
With your trust and our knowledge and hard work, we will...
9. RALEIGH CENTROS CROSSBAR. Best premium hybrid electric bike. Reasons to buy. Really good fun to ride. Sturdily built but comfortable. 10 gears to play with. Reasons to avoid. Ridiculously heavy. You do not want to run out of battery power. A bit overpriced. What's the Centros like? Big and heavy, but with enough power to overcome them. It really reminded me of a more upmarket Volt Pulse. You do tend to find that the weightier e-bikes give more of a feeling of speed, even though you're only doing 20 miles per hour or so at the absolute most. I found that by sticking it on turbo or sport mode, and leaving it in a middle gear, the Centros felt zippy when in full flight, but able to pull away from the lights with no problems. Less lazy riders than me might want to actually use the 10 gears, and will find that in the top gear, it's quite easy to push past the mandated 15.5 miles per hour electrical limit. The front suspension and pleasantly comfy saddle also smooth out London's pothole hellscape very successfully. RALEIGH also makes great play of the fact that the battery is hidden in the frames down too, but to be perfectly honest, it is hidden in the same way as an elephant is hidden if you throw a blanket over it. The only issue with this bike is that, as mentioned, it is quite reminiscent of the Volt Pulse. Okay, that only has 8 gears, not that I use the gears much anyway, but it is lighter and, more to the point, over 1,000 pounds cheaper. If you have the ready, maybe you'll prefer this one.
Test ride down there in
10.
London.
Volt Axis, perhaps the most cutting-edge e-bike you can buy.
Chain of
Reasons
dealers,
to buy.
right up as
Great
far
fun to
as,
ride thanks to 8 gears and
very
comparatively
northern
lightweight.
Scottish
Folds
Isles,
up,
I believe.
has disc brakes and automatic gears.
So here you have the,
Reasons to avoid.
mid-drive, Shimano's
Well, it only barely
E6000
folds up.
mid-drive.
And who wants automatic
Same
gears
really
on a bike?
commuters, leisure riders.
If you want an e-bike
It's
that
not
positively
their,
sprays
most
tech out
powerful
you,
offering,
try
which
the
is
Volt
E8000,
Axis on for
which is
size.
for
It takes the GOCYCLE
mountain
GX's
bikers, you
combo
just
of
don't
folding,
need the
lightweight
power or the
frame
extra
and disc
weight.
brakes, and adds
Small
automatic
folder
gears,
like this.
if you please. These react to your speed and pedaling effort.
Here you have the lovely
So you
neat,
automatically gear
clean,
down when you stop at
gauge
traffic lights,
carbon
although
belt
what
drive.
self-respecting cyclist does that? And then back up
see
as
it
you
toots onto
accelerate.
its own
If you are an
proprietary sprocket
experienced
there.
rider, this is actually annoying as hell.
The
Personally,
changing is done.
I tend
It's
to leave
electronic changing.
whatever I'm riding
You
in a
have
high
here
gear
a
all the
small
time, because my
round
body is
cassette.
like a powerful machine, and I found
you
the way
press
it
the
slowed
bike
my
effectively
escape from the
useless
lights
with
quite
damping,
disconcerting.
and it's also
For
just less
beginners,
prone
it
to-
could be useful,
to,
but it's worth
vandalism and
remembering
so on
that the
without
whole
that
point of
display on when
e-bikes
you
is
leave
that
it
the motor
parked.
helps you along anyway, so I do really question the usefulness of this.
It's a nice
The folding
positive
mechanism
engagement,
is hardly
and
going
it's
to have
secure on the
Brompton's
bike.
engineers in a cold sweat, but it does quickly fold just enough
You've got
to
two
let you
sets of
take it on a
control
train
buttons.
in the rush hour, and unlike the GOCYCLE,
On
you
your
don't
left,
need any
you
tools or
have
have
your
to
power levels.
remove the damn wheels. Pushing it about in this state is not the easiest thing, it must be said.
3 levels,
That
3
aside,
power
the
settings,
Axis is a
eco,
fantastic
normal,
e-bike.
and high.
At only 16
And all
kilograms,
the
it's
other
almost
usual
lively by
information you'd
e-bike
expect to find
standards,
on your
but it also
display,
feels rock
your
solid.
time,
It's geared too low in
your
my opinion.
battery
I think it's
capacity
fair to
and
say I am
speed.
not the target market, but in 8th, you can breeze on past the legally
So the two grey
mandated,
buttons on the
electrically
left are
assisted
for
15.5
power,
miles
covering
per
through the
hour.
power levels.
The hydraulic
Black
disc
button
brakes will then bring you
just
to a
gives you range
pleasingly
of
rapid
different
dead
options
stop.
there.
The range and charging time are good too.
The distance
Cheap it
travelled
is
on
not,
this trip,
mind
the
you.
odometer,